Hello, welcome back everybody to another game of the recent bounty event. This team is led by Sky, recruiting some of the best Marine players that are active in the NA private lobbies against the notorious Cat. Cat has been a zombie that absolutely dominated all of the major tournaments, and in most scenarios, leaving no Marine escape whatsoever. The goal of the bounty event is trying to put together great teams rather than scatter the top players across many tournament teams. Try to launch an attack against Cat, trying to push the Marine players to extreme and bring out the best possible game for us to view. Now, let us get the game started. Opening up, we have Cat building an aberration in the north. Instead of sending Space Zombie to poke out direction, she's immediately putting all the zombie, negating the opportunity for the Marine team to shut the gate. Want to have a quick start on the east bridge. Not starting as a shotgun, pushing the Marauder. Those are necessary to delay the zombie push. Oftentimes, the goal is to force a burrow, like we're seeing here, in which the Marauder will walk forward and the Z can take out the Marauder. Otherwise, this Marauder will hinder the zombie push almost indefinitely. Interestingly enough, instead of going for a quick tower harass over here or a building, Cat went for a second Alpha. This was scouted, but was not careful at the moment. Sky is enjoying the gas fan from their ARC player, Sicarius, therefore getting a critical 1 minute and 40 time mark 10. This time is essential in holding this push, at least delaying enough time for zombies to take the room, not for entirely for free. Right now, the rest of the field stabilized, while we have the other players going for support items. Sicarius building vision, immediately already seeing the Overseer, and you have this ARC combined tank operation that barely was able to, keep delaying the zombie from gaining momentum. However, it is always within the zombie's choice to take this 2 roam should the zombie commit. Right now, we have a rather standard opener for Cat, strategically taking the 2 roam that is bordering Alpha, making an Alpha gas attack rather scary. So it is possible Cat would come back with this apparition once its shell recovered to take Alpha gas. Visions are now on the field. However, this early observer was considered at the point to be a mean to take out the early vision, because Cat does in fact know good Marine team will take out this, exploit this vision droid and respond to her attack in a way that is not favorable to her outcome. Toward north, we have Palace Rule going for a rocket play. At this point in time, Palace Rule has not been able to afford a T2 rocket. But we'll say the Plasma player team has already made his way here, making Cat was able to take this room, nevertheless push it back. What do we have here? We have the Overseer, after killing all the Vision Droid on the map, immediately went for a backdoor in the containment. So the way this backdoor works is by dropping a crypt pod right here, creating this puddle of crypt that allow the apparition from teleporting in. The key of successfully executing such a backdoor is you gotta be able to put enough pressure on the rest of the map. So there's not much question from the Marine team what the zombie is doing. At the time, I think the Marine team is consider themselves rather successful in containing the zombie early on, so they were not able to find this. But soon enough, this is gonna be a huge surprise for them. Even though Cat has a rather, mediocre opener in terms of getting only 3 others connecting rope, The loss of containment is probably the worst that could happen to a Marine team. I think somebody's smelling the blood right now, so already trying to say something fishy must be going on the contain side. While the rest of the Marine team is rather standing there, pondering what the zombies doing next. The lack of vision really helped in securing this back door, because if it wasn't for those vision, the Marine team would not have realized, okay, so the aberration is gone from the map. So without those vision, the team thought the aberration must be recovering in the middle. Meanwhile, it's in fact directly pushing containment. Now with Devoius and Queens out, the Marine team are in huge trouble. Immediately, the Devoy and the Queen combination take out the alternate contain room, shutting down any opportunity for Delta to recover. The teleported aberration attempt on power was gutted and then therefore given up. Now you have this Panzer Rouge Vision Joy finding this aberration, but the main problem still is how you're going to deal with this queen. Because once the zombie has this queen on the field, one thing, it is an alpha, which is very effective in tanking damage and supporting other units. Is basically virtually a shooting legion, right? Shooting legion that can buff as a zombie player with this shield. And if exploited correctly, that does make a huge difference for a push. So not here trying to snipe an opportunity to kill this queen. That's why Cat is notorious for being a murderous zombie player. Because what she does is she will set up a trap like this, making the thing you can score a hit with that aberration. Meanwhile, dropping pod behind you on those narrow corridors. And for the Marine player, that's usually once that drop pod land and zombie player registering hold position on those zombies is really hard to get out. With Bound taken out, this entire power region is going to be open for zombie as a buffet. This aberration is going to be able to take enough, tank enough damage and deal critical hits on the Eradicator. With Queen coming in, dropping a shell support, I imagine he's going to come in, yes. Team was forced to super steam against that Queen. Queen taking huge amount of damage and absorbing all hits. Still, team took out the aberration. But the rest of the zombie horde, notice just simple tier 1 zombie horde compounded with drop pod was able to take out power. Very well played, very well played. Now the Marine team is in deep trouble because the most desirable sector you're trying to protect is power and containment early on. You could lose FDC and it just add up on the camera, it doesn't involve that much. But if you lose contain, well, the Queen is gonna be on the field, always buffing the zombie, always buffing it and saving it, and this is like alpha being on all front if the zombie was able to keep it alive. And with power out, the Marine team will scatter uncoordinated and not sure what's going to where the attack is coming from. Even with VC, right, they could not be able to communicate that much in terms of where the zombie is going. Granted, some players do have vision droids to share that in level of intel. Now we see zombies making a push on FDC side. It is, to my opinion, if FDC fall this early and with containment and power goes out, the game is going to be over. It's basically considered over. Luckily, the Marine team still has alpha. If they are able to take care of this crypt tower, they will be able to deny a greater Nidus into alpha. And let's check the zombie gas count. It does indeed saving for a greater at 150 gas. That vision droid immediately taken out by the overseer. So it seems that this attempt to take out the crypt tower will not be successful. At this particular time, this tank has only but one attachment. So ideally, if you want to take out that Krypton, you would need the two attachments, that is flare and artist strike. So this tank has artist strike, but it doesn't have flare. And with Overseer denying vision, this greater come into alpha without any problem. And before this greater would spawn, typically the zombie would try to upgrade the horde quality. So whenever when it spawned here, ideally it would be higher tier zombie. Now this greater knight by itself, in principle, can be held if just T1 zombie, right? You see, just T1 zombie with 2 flame and even rocket overloading here. If the tank can keep attacking and sieged up, right now it's on siege because there was a lack of vision. But the scary part is the Queen and Aberration still coming from the gate side, right? Because they're going to force on sieging from the tank indefinitely. The Queen would cast frames and shoot the tank. It would not be able to tank such a damage, therefore it would have to unsiege. Right now, this Great Knight has already successfully taken one room, and the Alpha take the other room, the Viking room, so we call it, making Alpha gas effectively, inoperable at this point. The smaller Nidus is immediately released in front of security, rather ambitious, I would say, rather ambitious for Cat to try this. Palace Rule already rotated to security with a sense of strategy play, with a sense of a possible attack from the zombie. Was able to essentially delay this, and team in the back hitting the small Nidus. So Palace Rule should be able to handle this push with rocket overload, even though security probably toward the end of this push will not have much remain. Sicarius the Ark salvaged some of his asset, so Ark will be salvaged, is able to get full gas back, so he was able to afford this very key side here. Cat right now must be having a lot of confidence, I would imagine, taking critical sector, power and containment now with gate in his in her purse. Any time can take gate, and the Marine just desperately trying to save the last effective gas. I almost never consider FDC to be an effective or sustainable gas. The reason is this room right here is a connector and it's rarely weak. So the Marine team almost always gonna lose this room. And wherever this room is lost, the zombie can, if they wanted to draw pod or just camp a group of zombies here, will just harass this Manning. This Manning is very weak to defend or to keep sustainable. So we see the zombies pushing the laser side. It's rather a slow move, contrary to what has been doing so far in this game, just aggression after aggression. This push on laser wouldn't really gain much, right, for the zombie player. It is a 15 gas reward. This gas is already dead. If you want to kill Beta, you could take FDC order and with that push on FDC inside. But I think Cat pushing laser does in fact cause her to waste a lot of time and was in fact affording making Marine team to be able to recover down south, even though she was able to trap Bao another time with this drop out play. So Cat now building both gasser, perhaps she was trying to build up an economic advantage by securing that gas income. Because she's not really afraid of the Marine team from taking Alpha back, right? Because every 5 minutes or so, she will be able to send another Greenlanders in here, and with the economic shamble the Marine teams are in, she doesn't imagine that the Marine team could in fact hold Greenlanders whatsoever. But the push on laser really took a lot of time off her counter, right? Right now we see there's 9 minutes remain on the timer, and the Marine is stabilized in a sense down south, keeping both security, gate signs, and alpha gas. So her progress that was made prior to the push on laser was somewhat offset by how long it took for her to take out the entire NOS. You will notice that there's nobody here in FDC, not just because the 2 NOS rocket was taken out by CAT, but it was a strategic move that they are not going to reinforce NOS whatsoever. They're not going to trap a super steam player there. They're not going to trap a tank there. Right now, we have a rather typical Alpha 4 in which you have a gate, you have Alpha gas, and you lose the 2 connecting room leading to Alpha. And the zombie right now is really trying to take out security, because when security is out, this tank would have to rely on sensor a lot to kill this big tower. As we see right now, Cat is trying to launch a grader into Alpha, but she wouldn't be able to successfully do it because the tank players already gotten sensor tower, and sensor would in fact reveal the location of those crypt when they are in the circle. 3 heavy children was built here. Those are 2 heavy children and normal one. Those are very good choice. But they would really put a stop to any small push on security, forcing the zombie player to commit a much greater effort in securing security. Right now we have the push going on 3 directions simultaneously, and still tirelessly trying to gain this crypt grader into Alpha. We see that the tank player was able to take out the crypt, so this Nidus will be off crypt. It will be off crypt. And the Marine team will be ready, so it would seem to me that even though with upgraded zombie, as you see, we have armor strength upgrade on the zombie now, and Queen simultaneously pushing Alpha lane. The Marine team is in a very hard place to hold. Very hard place to hold. The tank arc solution here is going to end the Greenlanders threat, almost taking no damage. Remember, this room was secured by this singular sign. And Alpha gas is in trouble. Alpha gas is in trouble. Pilot's Rule, using his revived cloak state to reveal location of the Queen, not giving that last bit of effort, super steaming against the Horde. Tank gain the vision with flare, taking out the Horde from getting into Alpha gas. This is a desperate hold. This is a very desperate hold. Now hopefully the Marine team can rebuild Chiron, close up the gap on Alpha gas to make mining operational again. Now we have the Cat keep dumping gas into delaying the dropship fueling. Team, good job taking out the small Nidus. Once again, Marine secure a victory in stabilizing yet again against the murderous Cat, forcing Cat to turn tail to regain her momentum by taking out Delta Hammer again. It is in fact advisable for a zombie to always keep a tab on the rally. You don't want to keep sending zombie into a location where that is it's not going to happen, right? Because when you do that, it's going to feed the Marine a lot. The gas income from killing those, I would say streams on Z Horde is almost as much as mining itself. right? So Cat, while she's rebuilding, right? While she's rebuilding, True Aberration this means she wants to launch a multi-pronged attack with Aberration and maybe catching timing with the next Wither. She want to take a Delta first instead of sending those support towards Alpha. However, the mistake is she underestimated the determination of the Marine team because just before those two Aberration was able to hatch, Tank and Shotgun, this great on-crit combo, was able to get rid of those two Aberration. Even not apparent, this indirectly saved the Marine perhaps 2 rounds, at least 2 minutes on the tank. With Delta eliminated, now Cat comes in from the back end of security, claiming a right in the security, killing the side, bypassing those nasty 3 heavy children. She made a big mistake in capping that queen too much. I think something must have distracted her that she was not able to see that nuke. She invested a lot of gas into that queen only to have a nuke there. So big victory, huge victory for the Marine team. Small mistake was made by the first field, almost killing the Super Steam player. But with this Super Steam and no Alpha on the field, they're gonna be able to hold the purity once more. So from maybe 15 minutes ago, we saw the Marine team was surely going to get snowball and lose the whole map, but they rarely took the opportunity that was given by a singular wrong direction push, that is the laser push, to get enough time quickly secure Alpha. The fact that the Arc player was able to drop that side immediately after Zombie player went away was key in the timing for reclaiming Alpha. Now, just like I was saying, because the Zombie has lost all the Alpha, with simple horde push, they are not going to be able to take Alpha again. This with Nidus is, in one way to say it is desperate, right? So if you forget about everything that has happened up to this point, the Marine team, in fact, is ahead. They are ahead. They have the entire Alpha. And the timer is 1 minute 30 toward the end. And at this time, the Zombie dropped an off-click Nidus. Yes, this Wither will kill Alpha processing, so shut down mining. But at what cost? The tank is gonna be here, and the tank is gonna farm hundreds of gas of this Wither. Even as we are saying right now, Zombie desperate dropping pop, it's not enough. It's even not enough to deny this Alpha mining. The Goliath still hold. Great micro down by our Super Steam players. Immediately not went for the second Super Steam closing door. Not the second, just closing door with his last Super Steam, remainder of the last Super Steam. Has roof chipping away on the shell of the Aberration. What does the Zombie do? The Zombie is making vision. The Zombie is making a move to a nuke. This is in preparation of the difficult push that the Zombie will have to do in Alpha Hammer. More Alpha being built at this point. You have Abomination and another Overseer. This is gonna be a hard push for the Marine team. If they are not able to delay the Zombie players using the advantageous terrain that was given by the outside connecting room, gonna be in huge trouble. Because even when the Marines ahead, suppose the Zombie was able to secure a connecting room and directly launch all Alpha, one Abomination, 2 Aberration type of attack on Alpha, Marine team is not gonna hold 2 powerful, never. Just unlikely to happen. Think about what does the Marine team has at this point. They have 2 rockets, right? Those rocket, one of them is a support rocket, so they're not gonna have super steam or any burst damage. I was saying, if you get this Anuva, that's huge. That is huge. Not killing that Anuva, making cast push into alpha, singular Anuva. Singular Anuva, it is much weaker than 2. And the reason is not just the number, it's about how much area you can shut down in alpha hangar. Because if you drop one on the tank, another one on the turret, then your push is much more smoother. Kappa nuke going in place to delay losing alpha gas. Right? All the push are happening, and with this endgame port, the Marine will not be able to hold those drones much longer. But my key direction is to find out what this abomination can accomplish. That bomb is going to be the vanguard of the zombie push. It will be huge if Nock can strike it again, killing this Anu. Because if there's only one abomination with a rather weak, right? Cast endgame port here is not strong. You have a T3 tank, you have some T1 banging, some damage stream, but it's not very strong. So team already start for overload plasma in preparation of the nuke. This nuke will not be able to cast the goo too long, because whenever he got in range to cast the purple goo, plasma will be shooting it. The Marine team is doing a good job in terms of delaying the push into alpha, really utilizing, exploiting those connecting rooms to their advantage, buying time, eliminating yet another power outage that they have to face in the hangar. Right now, if they are able to hold one power out, they will be able to secure a game with full retreat. Even not quite obvious, you want to keep doing damage to those Anu. So unlike Abomination, the life regeneration for Anu, it is rather slow. So if you're able to keep dealing damage to them, at a certain point, they have to make a decision on whether to keep pushing using this Anu or to risk losing. The push on the left is giving Rocky a hard time. As I was saying, they have 2 rockets, and the Rocky endgame damage per second or utility just fall greatly. Rocky cannot deal with T3 Horde very well, not even with overload. Now we see the right side nuke was revealed, and this Grillinitis is endgame Grillinitis and finally came in. Even right now, I would say the Marine has a great opportunity of winning this game, securing a full retreat. The Z player has only 3 minutes, and this Grillinitis is still far from our hangar. Not to mention, she only has 2 now. She remade another group on the field, and this 2 abomination is going to be very hard to deal with. At this point, because there are 2 abomination, and the Marine team has only Only 1 super steam shotgun, right? And 1 plasma. Those 2 nuke can bring a lot of hurt. The rest of the nuke, they are all started. And if Cat is worth his Corsage, she wouldn't let this nuke go off. As you see, it was cooled. In fact, anything that's in this protocol cannot be activated. So we see here a little bit bug happening on the door. Tim was almost got himself killed due to that little bug issue. So one of them moved already out of energy. That means she won't be able to cast those annoying purple goo on the Marine team anymore. And the second abomination is rushing to the field with the third Anu and 1 minute 30 remaining in the game. Continuous purple goo And the Marine team is in a great position to hold this push with scatters. Those Terrans, they are scattered because they want to minimize the amount of Terran that is shut down due to the parasite purple goo ability of the nuke. Both super steam cast, denying the abomination. Tank on 9-Knight, keep shooting, denying Horde to push. And drop pod on the tank side, forcing the tank to unsiege and move to a central location. At this time, there's no heal. Not barely alive, shooting. But on the right side, you see the drop pod? The drop pod ended the entire right side team. Suddenly, the drop pod was able to kill the right side team. With Panda Zhu as the last man standing, it seems that the Marine was not able to recover from this. Hell, a teleport was made by Panda Zhu, just barely got in time. It was a very close game. I want to watch it again what happened toward the end, just a little bit carefully. It was happening so fast. Now we're back in time to re-watch the Chaos counter push and to identify what went wrong for the Marine team, because it looked great, right? The Terran are scattered out, and you even have acceleration drone in there to help with the overloader. What happened? Cat is doing two Nuke-Light, two Abomination final push, and there's 1 minute on the timer. The Horde is not too impressive. Matter of fact, there's barely any Horde. If you keep those Terran up, the Terran, not the tank, can take care of the Horde by themselves. The Ghoul on the Overloader really shut down Panda Zhu immediately, and the first bomb fall already to not Super Steam Shotgun. Sicarius desperately trying to recharge those Terrans, and the drop on the right accumulated too much. Now we see the Abomination is going in. Sicarius, suddenly you see during power outage, right? It was during power outage. Let's watch again from the Marine perspective to understand why those Marine all failed it. Because it seemed, even with our omniscient view here, that the Marine could have killed the right side drop pods Horde before they snowballed too many. Let's go from the Marine side vision. This is Sky's vision. So immediately during power outage, it casted a flare, shooting on the nuke, meaning easy up for the plasma flare. You see, this Ghoul was able to shut down both Team and Sky, but no effect, right? So far, no effect, because Team was protected by 9-9, right? This teal color. So Sky, because he doesn't have the nano shield, relocation to the middle to avoid getting scratched by those pods. Team keep shooting and denying those abomination. Bao right now was out of Super Steam. What could they have done differently? What could they have done differently? It would be very nice if any of them could have put some heals or Terrans on the right side. This is a given, right? Moreover, if any player had stun, it would have been a game changer. Because if they stun the pod, the tank didn't have to siege. And when the tank siege, it was just a very unlucky timing, right? Because both Super Steam was entering the withdrawal phase, and suddenly the tank siege. And the Terrans are out. So the drop in Marine DPS just went from high to nothing. And that killed the Marine team. Alright, Thank you for watching this episode on Bounty Team. Hopefully, we'll be keeping in inch. Hopefully, Joey's team next week will have a better luck.